I think people like Roland Martin are very problematic to the Democratic Party. These boule black Democrats that do nothing for us but just talk a good game, that day is over. You gotta be a King Randall now. You gotta produce some results.
Roland Martin has not been a journalist for the past 15 years.
Oh, like a shot of liquor. Oh, he woke up the beast. He brought up the apes. Ooh wee. It's about to get hot. Dave Anderson, yes sir. He over there popping off on Roland Martin. He popping off on the Congressional Black Caucus. He popping off on the Boule. He got strays for everybody. Let's check it out.
Do you realize that according to a lot of separate studies, by 2053, the black wealth statistic will be at absolute zero? What's funny about that is
Dave really struck me when he said that by 2053, that black wealth is expected to drop to zero. And he said there's various studies that say so. I'm going to see if this is true. So I found this article that says the assertion that the black... me enlarging this a little bit. It says the assertion that the black wealth will be zero by 2053 is a projection from a 2017 report by the Prosperity Now and the Institute for Policy Studies titled The Road to Zero Wealth. The prediction suggests that if current trends and wealth inequality continue without significant intervention, the median net worth of black households could reach zero by that year. The report attributed this trend to systematic inequalities, discriminatory financial practices, and a lack of policies that support wealth building with black communities. I think education should be added to that. This was published in September 11th, 2017. We look at the racial wealth divide at the median over the next 4 to 8 years, as well as to 2043, when the country's population is predicted to become majority non-white. We also look to the wealth rather than income to reconsider what it means to be middle class, which I think is important, because just because you make $150 a year doesn't mean you're middle class. I think it's through the trajectory of how that money transitions from generation to generation. We find that without a serious change in course, the country is heading towards a racial and economic apartheid state. It is not uncommon to see that the average white neighborhood is much more well off than the average black neighborhood. Even the average black wealthy black neighborhood tends to be less well off than the average white wealthy neighborhood. I'm just pointing that out to let you know that there is a significant difference in a racial and economic apartheid. I can understand their meaning. White households of color are projected to reach majority status by 2043. That's scary. Oh no, it says wow households. I apologize. It says wow, not white. Wow, I guess. I'm not going to go there. It says while households of color are projected to reach majority status by 2043, Latino household wealth is projected to hit zero. If the racial wealth divide is left unaddressed, median black household wealth is on a path to hit zero by 2053 and median 20 years later. In a sharp contrast, median white household wealth could climb, not fall, climb to 137,000 by 2053. It appears to be true that what Dave Anderson says has a lot of merit about black wealth and the trouble that black wealth is in and will be standing at the year 2053.
Surprise! Roland Martin's mad again. Let's talk about it.
Go to
this
my
time,
iPad.
Roland Martin is upset because Republicans are redistricting seats, which happens every single time. One party is in power. They want to make sure that they're able to maintain power.
He's right. He's right. Democrats wrote the book on redistricting. They wrote the book on gerrymandering. So it sounds like I don't like it when you do it to me. I only like it when I do it to you. This is a conversation when the rabbit has the gun.
Democrats have done this. Republicans have done this.
Sure.
And my whole thing is Roland is not upset because of the seat redistricting. He's upset for what that means for his paycheck, allegedly. I know what I'm about to say is going to sting and hurt some feelings, but somebody's got to say it.
Bring it.
Roland Martin has not been a journalist for the past 15 years.
Oh, like a shot of liquor. Oh, he woke up the beast. He brought up the apes. Ooh wee. Roland Martin gonna get a handle of this one. Oh, Dave, don't let him find you for all the lunch money, baby.
Here's what I mean. We know that he got at least 6 figures from the Kamala Harris campaign.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And not only did he get 6 figures for that sit-down interview with Kamala, he was very smug and arrogant. He said all black networks should have got that handout. That's what he said.
When somebody is paying you that much to sit down, that's not journalism. That is an infomercial at best.
Dave is taking it to him. He is spitting thunderous facts right now. Thunderous facts. People have conflated journalism with an infomercial now. That's what they have done. Journalism and its honesty has pretty much died off in America. To get real honest journalism, you practically have to go overseas or watch networks like Al Jazeera.
And he's profiteering from scaring people into voting one particular way.
Fear-mongering.
Go to my iPad.
I did not know he was going to do that. When I dropped that early in the video, I did not know. See, the only reason why I know that because I used to watch a lot of Roland Martin, especially when I was on the left. I watched Roland Martin religiously. But there are some things that changed along the way.
Can you trust somebody that has gotten paid tangibly multiple 6 figures from one particular campaign by somebody who also got pushed into a position that nobody voted her in? And I think a lot of people get confused by that. Kamala Harris did not have any type of primary where she was chosen as the Democratic nominee.
I'm almost betting the way that conversation went, Biden was pissed off when he noticed that he was being pushed out from completing and running the election. When you have been doing something for half a century, 54 years as a public servant, and they want to push you out the door like trash, you're going to be hot. And what did he do? He looked around. He said, who's the person they hate the most? Who could I find? He looked in the back room and he asked everyone, hey, who do you hate? Everybody said, I don't like Kamala. Who do you hate? I don't like Kamala. Who do you hate? I don't like Kamala. You know what he did? He went right on X and he said, Kamala gonna take over. That was his way of middle fingering everybody. And I can't say I blame him because the pettiness in me, I would have done the same thing. I would have been outside just like Alonzo in Training Day. You think you can do this to me? When I get done with you, yeah, that's right. I said when I get done with you, you're going to be making shoes in a pine box when I'm done with you. Boy, you see where you going? That's where you going, boy, to Pine Saw Heaven. Yeah, I would have been super petty. Oh, they wouldn't have been able to hit the end of me. I would have been like Kanye West. Every time Kamala got the microphone, I would have just ran up and snatched the microphone and just had a speech that had nothing to do with what she was saying just to piss her off. Oh, my entire life would have been petty. I would have been wearing a petticoat all day, every day. I would have never took that petticoat off. I would have been from the mean streets of Petty. I would have been from the Petty Himalayas. I would have been from Mount Petty. I would have had a city named after me called Petitonian City. I would have been so petty if they told me, yo, you don't have it no more. Now, that don't mean it wasn't true. Everybody, we all saw that Biden had definitely checked out after he gave that speech when he was running up against Trump for the presidential election. Yes, we know he definitely was checked out. He definitely didn't do himself any favors. But I'm telling you, I would have been hot because that was the play. The Black Caucus, they were definitely designed to put her in place because Biden was supposed to be a transitional president and then she was supposed to be the interim president for the time being, just to say we've had the very first black female president. But the way they would have done it, it would have put a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths because they would have said it was done in such a sneaky, snide way. Now, it's the way of the politician. It's the way of the warrior. Don't get me wrong. ABC, always be cheating. I get that. I understand the mantra. I'm with it. I get it. And when Biden hit a curve and threw a foul ball, they was pissed off. Matter of fact,
one of the most powerful figures is putting the blame for Tuesday's historic loss on President Biden. This is in an interview with the New York Times. Listen to Pelosi.
Fam. I try to do these videos with integrity. But every once in a while, the pettiness, it creeps its way back up. Tell me I didn't just see that. Tell me I didn't just see that. Let's go back. Let's play it for the dear viewers. Exhibit A. What in the fuck is that? When did we start allowing our Secret Service to get that big? That better not be Secret Service. Oh, you better not be wearing a double-breasted and you popping it. Oh, that better not be Secret Service. Why are we doing this in life? Do we see why people laugh at us on the public stage? Look at this guy. Who is he catching if anything goes down? That looks like Chuck Schumer right there. You think this man would not end up killing Chuck Schumer if he had to fall on top of that man? He will break every bone in Nancy Pelosi's body, and not because she's old. Biden is supposed to look like this at his age. He's earned the right to look like this at his age. This guy right here is disrespectful. I need this man to be brought to the front of the congregation, and I need this man to commit to salads 4 days a week for the rest of his life, because this is disrespectful. Let us continue. My fault, guys. I know it's the pettiness of me. Forgive me. It's the pettiness.
This is in an interview with the New York Times. Listen to Pelosi.
Had the president gotten out sooner, there may have been other candidates in the race. The anticipation was that if the president were to step aside, that there would be an open primary. And as I say, Kamala I think she would have done well in that and been stronger going forward. But we don't know that. That didn't happen. We live with what happened. And because the president endorsed Kamala Harris immediately, that really made it almost impossible to.
Translation. Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck him. Joe Biden. Fuck him. That's what she's saying. She said, if I ever see Joe Biden outside in these streets, she said, I'm going to trip him and tie his shoelaces together. It's real out here.
To have a primary at that time. If it had been much earlier, it would have been different.
That is Pelosi's view of the race, as she told to CNN contributor.
So you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. She's saying the entire plan was for him to step aside. He just waited to do it to the point where they could not run a primary in enough time. This was all planned and mapped out how they wanted Kamala to become the president. They wanted to do it by hook or crook because they wanted the status quo to continue. This was definitely in play. Anderson is definitely right about this one. Dave was right on this one.
Joe Biden was forced to step aside, not resign from the presidency, because he did not resign from the presidency.
True.
Had he resigned from the presidency, then of course Kamala Harris would have been the de facto president until such time as an election. That did not happen.
That was the plan.
All said, and when I say all, I mean the Congressional Black Caucus, the Democratic National Committee, and of course Kamala Harris herself, along with Elizabeth Warren and all of the other Democrats, said that Joe Biden was going to focus on doing the work for the American people, and he can't do that and run a successful campaign. And so we just going to let Kamala do it. No voting, no runoff, no nothing. Even Barack Obama said that he wanted the nomination to go to the convention.
This is true. Even Obama wanted a primary. He did not want to endorse Kamala. He endorsed her at the very last minute because he knows she was not winnable. He already saw what happened when she ran the first time, and she didn't make it past the first round of primaries. She got eliminated in the first round. He knew right off the bat she was just not likable. She's just not. Even when you saw the people going crazy at her different rallies, it wasn't because they actually liked her. They wanted the momentum to be behind her simply because they didn't want Trump to win. If there was another candidate running in Trump's place, they would have not had the same momentum behind her. They just wouldn't have.
So that there was an actual vote. And then all of a sudden, they walked that back. Again, where has anybody seen Dr. Umar? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? But I digress. The point of it is, if Roland is in the paycheck of Kamala Harris, the Congressional Black Caucus, and allegedly the Democratic National Convention or the Democratic National Committee, can his word be trusted? We can trust that it's going to be one-sided, but we can't trust that there'll be anything that...
He makes a good point. When your opinion is bought and paid for, can we trust your opinion? Because you're not speaking in your own personal true interest. You're speaking in the interest of another. So yes, when you speak, can we respect what you say? But when it's very obvious your opinion has been bought, this is the sole reason why it is a very dangerous thing to be an ideologue.
looks or resembles objectivity. Roland Martin loves talking about how he's connected and clicked in with the Congressional Black Caucus.
Oh, he'll tell you that in a minute.
I'm trying to figure out, and I know he hates this word because let's face it, he's not a foundational Black American. He can't...
Really? Roland Martin is not FBA? Really? I did not. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see what the survey says. His maternal great-grandparents had migrated from Haiti to Louisiana, where his family originates. So they're saying he's not FBA because if I remember correctly, FBA means that you have to have at least 3 generations stretching from your grandparents that was born or live in America, that migrated here from America. You have to stretch back at least 2 or 3 generations to be accepted as an FBA. So in this case, since they're saying he's technically by way of Haitian descent, that he is not an FBA because his grandparents or his maternal great-grandparents had migrated here and was not born here. So, okay, I get what Dave is saying now. I did not know that. I did not know that.
Can't stand the word tangibles. My question is, what tangible benefit over the past 20 years has the Congressional Black Caucus offered Black Americans?
Nothing.
I'm really trying to think. But let's run some stats, shall we? Let's go back. I'll spot you 30 years. Matter of fact, I'll give you 31. When it comes to mass incarceration, the Congressional Black Caucus was the loudest voice when it came to pushing the 1994 Joe Biden Bill Clinton crime bill. You know, the one that turned around and locked us up 3 strikes. And, oh, what was that? If you have a crack rock this big right here, you're going to do at least 25 years. That's what former President, then Senator Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. of Delaware said on the floor. We don't remember that? And he had the mayors and he had the Congressional Black Caucus go to their particular districts and tell everybody that we got to get behind this so it makes it look like all the Black people really wanted to get rid of the crime. And don't get me wrong, Black people did want to get rid of crime.
Dave is right. We definitely did want to get rid of crime. I remember this because I was a teenager in the 90s and crime was extremely bad, especially in Chicago, especially when all the projects were in their heightened glory, from the Rockwell Gardens in Chicago to the Ickeys to the Stateway Gardens to the Obla Cadre to the ghettos. It was very problematic, especially Cabrini Green. Cabrini Green stayed making the news, and Black people did ask for something to be done because things were so extreme. Matter of fact, the design was not the mass incarceration. That was the after effect when to their charging, a lot of Black people did not actually read what was in the crime bill at that time. They just wanted something done. And then once they started to find out what was happening, it was kind of too little too late. And it's true, we asked for the incarceration, but not to the degree where it was 3 strikes and, you know, somebody had committed 2 felonies. The third one was they was jaywalking and now they're doing 40 years. Because this was happening during that time, especially between that 1990 and 1995 stretch. Oh, it was rough. It wasn't the Black Caucus that was intentionally delivering mass incarceration to the Black community. It was something that happened inadvertently.
But not this way, where we become disproportionately, almost exclusively locked up by these laws that have not had any type of repair to them, unless you count the First Step Act. And I got issues with the First Step Act, but at least it's something in comparison to what happened. So that's one I can give the Congressional Black Caucus. They tangibly delivered mass incarceration of Black people. I don't want to call that a benefit, though. Reparations. The Congressional Black Caucus has asked for reparations. Studies Yeah, see, they want to keep studying it. I'm sorry. Have you been to a hood? Any hood? I don't care if you're in Watts, North Philly. I don't care if you're on the south side of Chicago. Do we need to study the fact that densely populated black communities are in disrepair, have minimal access to fresh, whole foods, have...
I disagree with most black Republicans that say black people shouldn't get reparations. I feel as a black Republican, they should. I feel those that suffered World War II, that particular culture of people, they got theirs. The Japanese that suffered the internment camps of World War II, they got theirs. In 88, they got their reparations. Black people, by way of General Sherman, during the Civil War, was promised 40 acres and a mule. We was promised that. And we should be kept on that same alignment. We should be given that. That's the promise we were made. And if his promise is made, it should be promises kept. You trying to dig through the books and figure out, well, who was actually descendants of slaves and who wasn't. And I know a backbite is often, oh, well, there was a lot of black people that sold us into slavery, so that's who we should be pissed off. Look, slavery was a way of life, and it still is a way of life along many parts of different countries. However, black people experienced something very unique here when it came to slavery, chattel slavery specifically. So I agree. I think they should, even if they take their money and go buy a truck full of Newports, let them do that because they are getting what they were promised. It is a slap in the face when other cultures and other races get what they're promised and America keeps their word to them and they keep middle fingering black people. I disagree with the black people that say we shouldn't get reparations. That's just the way I feel about it. I'm not going to play this entire video. I want to jump forward a little bit. I want to get to this particular part and the way Roland Martin treated a particular guest on his panel. When he treated this particular guest on his panel this way, this is what solely made me stop watching Roland Martin.
What I don't like is when you start discouraging, disparaging, and basically trying to disrespect our young people who are trying to move the ball forward.
Here we
now,
go.
Dave, what are you talking about? I don't remember Roland Martin bullying any kids. Well, I do. There was a young man named King Randall.
Yes, this is it. This is what made me stop watching Roland Martin. When he did this move right here, I thought it was very disgusting of Roland Martin's character. 100%. It turned me off completely. But when he treated King Randall this way on his show, it pissed me off to no end. And that's when it was other things that started to rattle my cage about the Democratic Party. But this is not me being a mouthpiece for the Republican Party. Because if they step out of order and they start doing things that's too afoul, I'll leave that party too. Don't ever think my allegiance is so entrenched that I will just vote red until I'm dead. That will not happen. I use discernment. But let's get into this. I want to watch this right here because this is what got me about Roland. This is what made me see the contradiction in him.
Who in rural Georgia created a program called the X for Boys. It is a supplementary education program designed to teach tangible skills, not just education, but life skills to young black boys so that they can actually live in the world that exists, not some utopian black pride
and
world
it's
that
still
only
in play
is in the imagination
to this very
of you
day under
bougie,
King
boule,
Randall.
so-called hyper blue blood Negroes. You sat up there and disrespected King
Yes,
Randall.
he did.
Somebody who was maybe 21, 22 at the time,
Yes.
for taking matters into his own hands,
Yes.
raising money, and creating an environment where young black men...
Let me give you an idea of who King Randall is, real quick. This here, ladies and gentlemen, is the page of King Randall on X. This man is showing young black youth excellent, moving to the next stage in life, teaching them life skills. Started them at a school that he crowdfunded himself. Of course, he had grants and other things like that. Leader, teacher, and guide to the X for Boys. When he says X is the school that Dave was just mentioning, that he created. And he's actually producing results Unlike Umar Johnson, who's been talking about a school for 14, 15 years or whatever, how long it is. See, Umar Johnson is thoroughly entertaining, but that's it. He's just entertaining. He produces no results. King Randall has tangibles that we can see that he has actually produced. 100%. This man is literally doing the Lord's work.
Family, we have finished with the summertime with the Extra Boys program. The summer program is over, and now we're going back into the after school program. So I want to talk about the things that we were able to do with the money.
This man is not even in his 30s yet.
We have been raising all this year. We've got so much taken care of. We got new floors, we got new ceiling tile, we got 2 new vans, we got a full staff of employees right now to be able to take care of the students. So what we've been able to offer lately is every day after school, 5 days a week, we're offering pickups for the kids.
This is the man Roland Martin disrespected on his show. When King Randall went on his show, this was, I believe, right when the pandemic was going on. So we're talking 5 years ago. And from then till now, this is King Randall's progress.
To pick them up from school, we're offering fresh meals for the kids every single day. We've gotten new electrical panels. We've gotten all new light fixtures in our building. We've got so much that we've taken care of in the facility. It's been a beautiful thing. And so we're able to serve the children a little bit better and a little bit more than we were before. And so now with us having raised that amount of money, my big thing is always showing y'all what's happening. So we've got so much done. We got smart boards. We got new books. We got just anything.
Are you getting my point now? Do you see why I was so turned off by Roland Martin? Because this is the gentleman he disrespected. But I just want you to get a little bit of a taste of a backdrop of King Randall, his production, and what he's putting out on the earth. I respect this man highly. This man is completely focused on moving us to the next level. Everything in his posting is about moving the black man to the next level. X for Boys, the website. You guys should go check that out. I'm just showing you everything that he's showing on the page on his site. It's selfless. It's not about him. This right here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at what he's teaching.
The wheel spinner.
The wheel spinner? What is it called though? All right, yeah, it's the wheel spinner, but what is it called?
I forgot. You said
It starts with an R.
the rim.
No, that's the rim.
The ritual.
The what?
No.
What it called, Tony?
The rotor.
This is called the rotor, okay? So now you got the rotor. Where are our brake pads located in?
In the caliper.
Inside the caliper. We good? He been changing brakes since he was like 3. What we do after we take that top bolt out?
Excuse me.
What we do? What we do?
We take out the caliper.
We gotta
remove the caliper. We expose the caliper.
There you go. You said one vocabulary. We expose the brake pad.
This is the man Roland Martin disrespected. I'm not aware that he ever apologized about his treatment of King Randall. King Randall gets a lot of respect from Democrats and Republicans alike. This man is showing you real life skills applicable to life. Things that you can use. This is the kind of stuff that makes black men grow up to become marriage material. To be able to fix problems and solutions. He has other videos on his page where he teaches the youth how to interact with the police. To not be afraid of the police, to not think of the police in a negative way. He is not doing it just to pander and fearmonger the way Roland Martin did. And when I woke up from that, that was the beginning of the end for me when it came to Roland Martin.
You got mad at King Randall because he quoted the Honorable Elijah Muhammad by saying that one thing black people need to do is do for self.
Is that a lie? Where is the lie? Even if you don't agree with Minister Farrakhan, is that not true? People don't often like the messenger, so they will reject the truth based on the messenger. But should we not do for self? Is this not true? And when he took that shot at King Randall the way he did, I never respected Roland since then.
Opposition, the last thing you want is for somebody like King Randall to inspire a generation of young people that are getting up off of their behinds and doing something to rectify what's happening in our communities. Because if young black people got together and started taking responsibility neighborhood by neighborhood, city by city, state by state.
Do you think These people that are black ignorants want to be black ignorants. A lot of them feel they was put in this position because they didn't have a choice. So they just accept it as it comes. Do you think they enjoy constantly looking? Because anybody that's in the street knows that world. It is not fun. It is tiring constantly looking over your shoulders. Ask a veteran that's been in the game 10, 15, 20 years. You know what you will constantly see? Bags under their eyes from being in the streets so long. Not because they drank all the time, not because they got high all the time. It's the constant lack of sleep, constantly watching over your shoulders, constantly being stressed about who's coming for you next. And then we have someone that is trying to divert that complete metric, King Randall, and you take a dump on this man.
Then what would the Congressional Black Caucus and all of your DNC buddies have to run on? Because they can't say that they're going to clean up the streets and be active in the hood when the hood has been replaced by thriving, self-sufficient black communities. That would make somebody like you, what's the word I'm looking for? Irrelevant. Even more than what you are actually.
These boule black Democrats that do nothing for us but just talk a good game, that day is over. You got to be a King Randall now. You got to produce some results. You dogged King Randall. Yes, I see you dogging the African Diaspora Network. Yes, I see you dog them too. Because they won't talk the language you want them to talk. They won't speak about the subjects that you think they should agree with. Because in your mind, they should stay on code. I'm telling you, that day is dead. Black men, we have a completely new way of thinking. And I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, just keep watching because it's about to get hot. Guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you feel about this video. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you familiar with King Randall? Are you familiar with Roland Martin? How do you feel about this whole situation? Do you think Roland Martin is the greatest, or do you think it's time for him to get his walking papers? Let me know. I'll catch you in the next one.